Now, you got interrupted by the break. You were getting into Bohemian Grove. Skull and Bones admitted worship of Lucifer. The elites obsessed with numerology, voodoo. I even heard, of all people, Michael Savage saying yesterday, he wasn't joking, he believes the royal family's into the occult. Multiple British prime ministers, Tony Blair's in major newspapers being possessed by a spirit, flopping around on the ground. His wife's a witch. I mean, this is mainstream news, folks. Just Google Tony Blair, the occult. You'll get all the mainstream news. They are into this. Why do people in power positions, why so often are they Hitler, you name it, obsessed with the occult?
I think it's clear. I think it's biblical. Think about the fallen angels in the book of Enoch. The concept that, when Lucifer and the army of the fallen come to earth, they become the so-called watchers. They come to copulate with female women and to teach man the mysteries, to teach him magic, to teach him metallurgy, to teach him the crafts of, for warfare and for politics. They are all the various civilizations of old talk about these gods who give them the information for agriculture, for example, right? The great solar teachers, the great white Anki, for example, or the sun god of the Mayans, and these various cultures. They're all gods, right? So imagine that they're not. It's not about alien or not. It's something of a higher order, of a demonic sort, or angelic, perhaps in its positive aspects, but in its negative aspects, it's demonic. And if these fallen are separated from God, and they are the rulers of this earth, the secret rulers, the shadow rulers, that makes more sense to me in terms of conspiracy, because the conspiracy is so far-reaching and ongoing. How can you maintain this? People ask about centuries and bloodlines. Why do bloodlines maintain their power and their interest? I mean, I know certain people, certain families that tell me, oh, if your money doesn't go back to pre-1400, you're nouveau riche.
Yeah.
Now think about that. I mean, what kind of world do we actually live in? I mean, most of us really live blind and in this kind of existential crisis day to day. That's the way that we're meant to live.
And nobody's more blind than the atheist.
And no one is more blind than the atheist. That's very true. Because faith is the one thing that kept me alive, I'm sure, throughout this entire journey into that realm, was the pure faith that, in God and trust in Him, and His words, Christ's words, I always invoked, because ultimately I know that protected me in very dark times from very scary things that happened.